Tonight on CTV News, we have updates concerning the Fort Collins Islamic Center. Then later on, we have an interview about this year's drag show.
All this plus weather, sports, and entertainment starting now on CTV News.
Good evening and thanks for watching CTV News. I'm Marlo Lundak.
And I'm Willis Scott. Our top story tonight concerns the Fort Collins Islamic Center. Police arrested a man suspected of vandalizing the Islamic Center of Fort Collins early Sunday morning. 36-year-old Joseph Scott Giaquinto was arrested Monday night. He's being charged with criminal mischief, third-degree trespass, and bias-motivated crime. Giaquinto is responsible for breaking 3 of the Islamic Center's glass doors near the prayer room with a rock. A Bible was found in the prayer room. Police collected the Bible, rock, and a screwdriver found outside as evidence. Surveillance footage appears to show Giaquinto arriving at the Islamic Center at just before 4 in the morning and kicking the back doors before proceeding to break them.
Fort Collins community members rallied at the Islamic Center to show their support following the vandalism.
One person with hate in his heart compared to I don't know how many hundreds of you who've come here with love in your hearts for our neighbors, our brothers and sisters of the Islamic community.
Sunday evening at 5 p.m., the Islamic Center Fort Collins held a rally after being vandalized early Sunday morning. Around 1,000 people showed up with anti-hate signs to show support for the Islamic community. State representatives and a few city council and police department members attended the event as well. Surveillance video from the Islamic Center shows the man responsible for the damage arrived at 4 a.m. and attempted to enter the building. The man then continued to throw a cement block and a Bible through the back doors, shattering the glass. The rally began with speakers from the Islamic Center and the Plymouth Congregational Church located next door, both showing gratitude to those in attendance and assuring the community that love overcomes hate.
I've read the Bible. I don't see anywhere, somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't see anywhere in anybody's Bible that it says, hate your neighbor and vandalize his house of worship.
Police Chief John Hutto and Mayor Wade Troxel also shared their insight on the hate crime.
This is such a tragic event that Fort Collins is a welcoming and friendly community for all. We're accepting of all faiths and all religions.
Toward the end of the rally, leaders from the Islamic Center asked that attendees form a human chain around the building as a symbol of the community's protection. I had the chance to speak with Police Chief John Hutto on preventing crimes like this from occurring in the future.
The way we prevent this is by the community just saying it's unacceptable.
I also had the chance to speak with some rallygoers about the event.
I thought it's just my duty to come and support other people who experience that, and it's just something to do for your community to show that we respect everyone and we accept everyone here.
The community truly came together Sunday evening to show love and support for others in our community. For more information on the Islamic Center, you can visit www.icfc.com, and for updates on the story, you can visit collegian.com.
City elections are quickly approaching and ballots are in the mail. The regular municipal election will take place on April 4th. Citizens will elect a new mayor and representatives for voters in Districts 1, 3, and 5. Voters will also make decisions on 4 different policy issues. All elections are nonpartisan and candidates must run on issue-based platforms rather than with a party. Voters who registered for the November election can vote in the current city election. Those who are unregistered and over the age of 18 may register to vote online with a valid form of ID. Since the election is taking place entirely through mail-in ballots, there are no polling centers with the exception of one on-site polling place within the city clerk's office. More information about Fort Collins city election, including the ability to check a ballot's status, can be found at the Fort Collins city website.
Send Silence Packing, an exhibit of over 1,100 backpacks representing the number of college students who die by suicide each year, will be on campus this week. Friday, March 31st from 8 in the morning to 2:30 in the afternoon, the exhibit will be on display between the Eddy Building and the Education Building, or in case of rain, in the North Ballroom of the Laurie Student Center. The event is sponsored by the Colorado State University Health Network, the Associated Students of Colorado State University, and Active Minds, a student organization that aims to empower college students to speak openly about mental health issues and suicide. Send Silence Packing is a traveling exhibit that visits around 20 colleges and universities per year. Each of the backpacks that will be on display represent the life of a college student who was lost due to suicide. Among these backpacks will be photographs of some of these students as well as their stories. Students, faculty, and staff are encouraged to visit the exhibit during the day on Friday in order to spread the message of suicide awareness and prevention throughout campus.
Some businesses near CSU's Moby Arena in Campus West are struggling. Construction is the cause of the problem. One shop employee says the safety signs and cones scare off customers. It's affecting stores in different ways.
It's definitely thrown a loop for some people, so it's been hard.
Mostly inconsistent rushes type of thing.
Definitely our sales have been slowing down.
Construction at the intersection of West Elizabeth and Shields is making it difficult for customers to get to the shops at Campus West. The construction is making many customers unsure of how to get into the Campus West parking lot.
And it's just a little frustrating.
The shift manager at My Best Friend's Closet says she's hearing customers say the same thing.
And they're like, I didn't know how to find you here. Like, I saw the construction. I just thought like there was no access to like Campus West over here.
Now the store can't offer cash for clothes customers sell, only store credit.
We just have to like be a little bit more careful with our cash flow because it's so hard for people to like come down and find us and sell to us.
Not everyone is suffering the same. Rocky Mountain Bagel Works hasn't felt a big drop in business.
Most of our regulars still show up, make their way over here.
One customer at James' Salon was relieved he didn't have to walk to his appointment.
I was lucky to find a spot. I don't know where else I would have parked.
Through it all, shops and customers stay optimistic about the coming underpass.
The walkway should lead right up to pretty much our doorstep.
I think it'll help. I think it'll help mostly with like CSU students especially.
We're hoping it increases business. It is going to bring a lot of foot traffic.
Hey, you gotta go through some pain to gain, essentially.
Store employees look forward to business growth once crews complete the underpass. It should be finished in August this year. It'll be done just in time for football fans to use it to get to the new on-campus stadium.
Colorado State University is no stranger to construction. Now the Warner College of Natural Resources is getting a $20 million addition to the Michael Smith Natural Resources building. Emma Inacone has more on the story.
As Colorado State University begins the final touches to the new on-campus stadium, a new project is being added to their to-do list.
Much like the trees here in the Sherwood Forest, the Natural Resources Building is going to grow a new branch.
While the budget of $2 million may seem like plenty, there isn't enough to do a complete remodel, so the college has decided to focus their efforts on the students.
So the Michael Smith Natural Resources Building addition is going to be very student-centric.
We're going to do a complete remodel and revision of our student services and student success area.
The college is eager for construction to begin, as the blueprints have been drawn up and funding has already been raised.
So it's a variety of different funding sources. Around half of it is funded by donations. We have 3 major donors for the building.
The donors include Michael Smith, Ed Warner, and UFAB, a student-run committee that decides where to spend tuition fees for construction. A concern among students is how much space will be taken up by the construction site.
The construction site will take up the plaza in front of the building where the building will be constructed.
However, the use of University Avenue will not be obstructed, and a 10-foot lane for emergency vehicles and pedestrians will remain intact. The concern of classroom disruptions has been addressed as well.
One of the things that we've done is all of the classrooms on the first floor have been rescheduled to other locations during the construction period.
It's a bit of temporary pain for a great, wonderful thing for the college and for the students.
This is Emma Iannacone reporting.
The construction is expected to begin in May and will be concluded in the fall of 2018.
Well, that'll do it for news, but coming up, I sit down with the coordinator for CSU's drag show.
Then later on, we have a full weather forecast plus sports and entertainment.
Welcome back. I'm now joined by Delray Echohawk, the coordinator for CSU's drag show. That's quite the last name.
Thank you.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit about the event.
So CSU's drag show is a semesterly event. We have it every semester here at CSU. Our performers consist of about half of the performers are student performers, and another half are outside performers. And this semester we're lucky enough to have Shangela from RuPaul's Drag Race join us.
All right. Could you Well, first, let's talk about, have you been in the show before? Have you participated before?
Yeah, so my first show was back in spring 2015. That was my first time performing, or my first time volunteering for the show. That following fall, I took up the position to start running things, and I was the co-director at the time. And that was my first time directing, and I've been doing it ever since.
Do most people have a similar motivation for being in the show?
I think a lot of people really just like to have a chance to express themselves and have a good time with it. So I would say yeah, and a lot of people really believe in kind of the fun of it.
Sure. What's the message of the event? Is there one?
Yeah. So the point of the drag show is A, to have fun, and B, to kind of spread the understanding of this part of queer culture and the idea of gender fluidity, because that's a lot of things we don't really see a lot around everyday life.
For our viewers who might not be familiar with the term, would you mind just clarifying, maybe explaining what gender fluidity is?
So it's gender fluidity is kind of whatever someone wants it to be. It's more, but it typically pertains to someone whose gender is maybe not always the same. Someone who maybe identifies masculinely one day and femininely another day, and maybe somewhere in between any other day of the week.
And this is RAM Events sponsored, is that correct?
Yes, we're sponsored by RAM Events, Wyoming Equality, and the Residence Hall Association this year.
Now, I know with a lot of shows it's difficult for people underage to get in because they're usually held in bars, so there's a minimum age of 21. Is that the case with this show?
No, we are open to absolutely everyone who wants to come in, whether you're a student, whether you're 18 and up, or under that. So it's a great chance for a lot of people's first time to be at an actual drag show instead of just watching it on TV.
What's the crowd look like generally? You've been there before. What's kind of the demographic that you draw in?
I honestly can't say too much. I'm not really sure. I don't see the crowd a whole lot anymore. It gets dark. It's dark in the crowd and light in the stage. But from what we've been noticing, we get about 1,000 or more people, and they tend to be people who are they tend to be more queer than most people, and or more female-identified people.
And do you have a specific theme this year?
This year our theme is, the drag show is called Galaxy Queers, and that goes with our theme of space.
Okay. All right. And would you clarify one more time when this is going to be?
The CSU drag show is Sunday, April 2nd at 6 p.m. up in the LSC Grand Ballroom. It's totally free. All you have to do is show up.
All right. Well, don't go anywhere because Sierra Symes is going to have the full weather forecast. She's going to tell us if this rain is going to stick around.